At the Kotoka International Airport today, this is the first deportation from the UK this year. Last year, the UK deported 219 Ghanaians into the country, and the Ghana Immigration Service has confirmed the news, adding that British authorities communicated it to the GIS. So the deportees, both males and females, have varied professional backgrounds and fall under the various age groups. The sources say reasons for the deportation are overstay of visa and involvement in criminal activities. Some of the deportees have also worked in the UK for more than 10 years. And according to the source, the deportees are coming with armed escorts who will release them to their families. So joining us in the studio is Head of Public Affairs of the Ghana Immigration Service, Francis Palmdet, to get more clarification on this issue. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
And many thanks for joining us. Right, so have they arrived, the Ghanaian deportees from the UK, have they arrived?
They arrived at 10 a.m. this morning, and they're 18 in number.
They are 18, okay, they are 18 in number. All right, so what immediate plans do you have for them?
Usually there's a standard procedure that we follow at the entry points when we receive persons who have been deported. Usually when the numbers are large, the country from where they're coming usually would notify us that they have a large number coming in so that we make adequate provision. When deportees arrive at the entry point, we do initial screening to establish whether indeed they are Ghanaians and whether they are those who we are expecting. There are other security services that also do their checks, and then we have NADMO also playing a role. They sometimes would assist them with some basics to enable them get to their various destinations. So that screening exercise is done in collaboration with BNI, with what do you call it, the disaster people, NADMO. All those screenings are done. Once we are done with it, we take their statements. We also have a file for them. We put those statements on the file, and then we allow them to go depending on what kind of offense they have committed. Some offenses may be serious, and those ones would have to have them transferred either to the police if they haven't served their terms, etc. But if they've served their term and they've been asked to leave those countries and we receive them here, we just allow them to go home.
All right, so I want to get this clarification. Is it that they were 25 and just 18 returned, or it's 18?
We've had situations where they'll tell us 25 are arriving, but for any reason, it could be that the individual may not be well to travel. Usually with travels, they also have their rules for allowing people to travel. If you're not very well, you'll not be allowed to board the flight. So based on one or two reasons, some may not be able to join as planned. In this case, 18 came, and it's not unusual. It's not an unusual situation. We sometimes will have numbers stated, but a lesser number comes.
Okay. Now, do you have a breakdown of the offenses they committed? So what was mentioned was visa and overstay. I mean,
most of them fall within two categories. One, illegal stay and overstay. So illegal stay is a situation where you have a legitimate right to stay in a country, and your conduct makes that stay illegal. If you have a permit to, let's take the Ghanaian situation for instance, you have a permit to work for company A, you end up working with company B. You have broken the law, and your stay is illegal because you've broken the law. There are times when you have been given 60 days to stay in a place. You stay beyond 60 days and you're illegal. So usually the offenses that these committed fell within those categories. We have 16. We also have 16 male and 2 female.
16 males and female. So they mentioned criminal activities. What was that?
I'm sure that's the journalist trying to capture what he thinks the case is. But immigration offenses in some jurisdictions are considered criminal. Others don't consider it criminal. So I don't know which terminology the journalist was using. But because the offense is against the state, you would consider it as criminal. But globally, immigration offenses are not seen to be criminal cases, the real sense of it.
Okay. So for those who have stayed there for long, or like 10 years, because that's what we gathered, are they allowed to come back with their properties, or they just came back empty-handed?
No, with immigration globally, when you, let's say your work permit has expired, or you are in the process of renewing your work permit, you could apply for it. They will tell you that, oh, we are sorry, this time around we cannot give you an extension of your work permit. And so they would give you some period, maybe a week or two, or maybe a month, to prepare yourself to leave. Under those circumstances, you can pack your belongings to leave, because it is the institution telling you that we are sorry, we can't extend your work permit, and therefore you need to pack and leave. But where you have overstayed and you are still in that jurisdiction, when they arrest you, you don't have any chance of going back to your house to pick anything. You are illegal, and you live without a penny.
So what does our country do to help such people to recover all that they've earned all those years?
You are earning it illegally. That same question will be thrown at you. That when you also arrest people here who are engaged in illegal activity, do you wait for them to go to their house to pick their stuff to leave? No.
Okay. So almost every year, Ghanaians are deported from not just the UK, Europe, even Libya. Do we, in Ghana, also deport some foreign nationals?
Yes, we do.
When was the last time we did?
Oh, you must have. In the news, we've had, I will not talk about the Chinese one because we've had a lot. But just a few weeks ago, we had some West African nationals, Guineans and some Malians engaging in illegal mining activity up north. We had them deported. And so it's not as if usually we don't come out to tell the public this is what's happening. You don't do that because you could have retaliatory deportations. I mean, some may not be reasonable in understanding why you deported their nationals. They will think, okay, what do? We also have to retaliate. Let's grab some Ghanaians and have them deported. So we don't go out saying we've deported this number or that number, or when we are carrying out a deportation, we don't give it publicity. But usually, those we deport are those who have broken the law. And we also expect that countries that deport our nationals are deporting them because they've broken the law.
Now, when it comes to this deportations issue, I want to know if it's our system that is weak or the system outside, because I want to know all the forms we fill before we travel. It's through the immigration. You're supposed to check the stay, right? So how come people are able to overstay? And there, how come they're able to overstay for many years before they are brought down? Whose system is not that strong? Is it ours or outside?
It's not about a system. It's about human beings who think that they can only make it by seeking greener pastures.
How can someone overstay in the UK for more than 10 years?
That should tell you that immigration, some people have the impression that in America and UK, you don't have foreigners in there. But there are lots of, in fact, in the US, for instance, the statistics that is made public is that over 11 million people are residing in the US illegally. It's a migration problem. And so countries try to manage that problem. So you have systems in place. If you take the UK and the US, for instance, they have a three-tier system. A three-tier system where they have immigration officials in their embassy here, also doing screening of documents that come. You also have the immigration officer waiting for you at the border. And you also have immigration officials within the country doing spot checks, going to companies, ensuring that foreigners are complying with the rules. That's a three-tier system. We have a two-tier system. We don't have our officers in the embassies outside this country. So you meet the foreigner the first time at the entry point, and then you have your enforcement unit doing checks. Now, it's difficult to on the spot know how many illegal people are in your country, because some people come in legally and they are conditioned to stay within a certain period, or they are conditioned to work for a certain company. Once that period elapses and he's still here, he's illegal. So you have people being illegal, regularizing their stay, becoming legal at one point or the other. And that's the same with the Western countries too. You have people being illegal and illegal as time goes on. But with migration, we say that it's just a matter of time. I mean, when we get you, we'll arrest you and make sure that the law takes its course. Okay. And deportation and repatriation are perfect remedies for such conduct.
All right, so before I let you go, were you at the airport to receive those who came in this morning?
No, we have officers at the airport who usually handle such cases, and they were there to receive them.
Okay, but have you received any report on how they were brought in? I know they came with security escorts, is that true?
That's standard practice.
Were they chained or something?
No.
Can you talk, do you think their human rights were abused in any way?
No.
Right.
We at least I can say that the UK considers human rights issues very seriously and would, as much as possible, transport deportees in a humane manner.
So who bore the cost?
They, the UK government bears the cost.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Francis Pamdet, who is the head, Pamdeti, sorry, who is the head of public affairs of the Ghana Immigration Service, and he has confirmed that 18 Ghanaians have been deported from the UK. They arrived at the Kotoka International Airport this morning, and they were brought in because of various offences.